Welcome to Angel Institute Season 2. I'm author Erica Penrod with my friend Lucy McConnell. This season, we're going to be talking about all things Cupid as we focus on the Cupid division of Angel Institute. Talking about date nights, relationships, and all of the yummy stuff. So sit down, relax, and join us, and let's get started.
Hello and welcome back to Angels Unscripted. I am your host, Lucy McConnell, and this is my co-host and beautiful friend, Erica Penrod.
Thank you.
And we are back with Season 2 of Angels Unscripted. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for this new season.
I know, it feels so good to be back.
I know.
It's been a hot minute.
It's
a hot 10 minutes or more.
I feel like that. I feel that energy.
Yes. Yeah.
And you can probably notice I've had a cold, which is why we've had to postpone filming, unfortunately.
It did not schedule with us.
No,
like your cold did not
no, it didn't
schedule with
permission.
us, so that we have a schedule with our podcasts and the things that we're doing, and it did not.
It didn't
make an appointment.
So life, I tell you what. So we are moving into a new season of Angels, which also means we have a new Angel series that will be coming out. We have 3 Angel books. I'm so excited because this one, I don't know if you can see our cute little angel holding a heart. We are moved into the cute.
I did not know you got that.
Yes, I love it. I just got it the other day. It just showed up.
Cute.
So we're moving into the Cupid division of Angel Institute, which is going to be so much fun.
I am so excited about this. I loved the idea of Angel Institute with the guardian angels and Christmas and all of that. But now as we've moved past the Christmas season and into the next season, it just makes me so excited about all of the things that we're going to be doing with Angel Institute. Because the divisions are like, we knew we had several divisions planned of Angel Institute already, including the Cupid division, which is where we're at now. So this is so fun. But there are some other divisions that are going to be coming that are so great too. So so much fun with Angel Institute. I love this idea.
It's going to grow. It's going to be it's this whole world. But also I think that it's like God meets us where we are. Yeah. And he prepares angels to help us wherever we're at. So wherever you are in your life, there is an angel that is ready to help you. And I just
maybe this time of year, a Cupid angel that's ready to help you find love or keep the love that you already have. I don't know. Yeah, whatever your story is.
And encourage love in our hearts. I love love. I know. Like this is what we do as romance writers. I love love. Yeah. So
and these ones, Cupid division is a little different than the first guardian angels. Yes. Because what are we doing different with
They're a little bit more lighthearted. Yeah. Like our Christmas ones hit a lot of things that are really close to the heart and some deep issues because they involve family, they involved all of those things that can really get us deep down inside. Those things come up at the holidays.
Right. I was just going to say, that's part of Christmas. Yeah. Like it's a time of self-reflection for a lot of people and a time for healing and for growth and for relationships. And so, definitely a little bit more heavier feel with I don't know if heavy's the word. Yeah, maybe just a little bit more
real. Like,
serious.
Because love is real. Yeah. I don't know what the word is.
I don't know what the word is either. Yeah. But Cupid is more got a little bit of a rom-com feel to it.
Yes, that's a great way to do it. A rom-com. Yep. Yeah. So I love that.
I'm super
and they're
excited.
super fun. And my angel is a little more. It's not mischievous. She's just a little bit more like Cupidy. I don't know what the word is.
I know we're struggling for the words today.
I like making them up when I can't come up with them. She's Cupidier. And so she definitely will cause a little more mayhem. Than my Christmas angels would. So Christmas angels, I feel like mine would cause mayhem with the individual and like what their status quo was. They'd shake up their lives a little bit. This Cupid is not afraid to shake up the whole town.
The whole thing.
So Oh, and we should mention we're still well, it's Cupid's.
Yeah,
so
I know.
You can
have so much fun.
We're still in Benton Falls.
Yes, we are still in Benton Falls.
We had characters from our Christmas ones that didn't get their happy ever afters, side characters. That should have, and so that's what we're staying in Benton Falls for this one. I can't guarantee we're going to stay in Benton Falls for the next one. But for this one, you're going to go back to Benton Falls.
But for the Cupid division, we're staying in Benton Falls. Yes. And so I agree with you. I have 2 Cupids. I have 2 books with this little Cupid division, and my first Cupid, she she's a go-getter, and she's not very patient, and so I'm having so much fun with her, and I can't wait to talk about her. But as we get closer to the book release, I'll share more about Meg and her personality.
Because what a rom-com name too.
I know.
Meg.
I know. I love it. So,
okay.
So
that's not what we're talking about today.
I know.
So today, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about all things love for this Cupid season on our podcast. And but for today, we are talking about date night.
Date night.
Yeah. So as we were talking about and planning what to share through these next few podcasts, we were talking about the different aspects of love and relationships and stuff, and we talked about date night. And as I've pondered that, I thought about kind of the seasons of date nights. Like, so when before you're married and you're dating, like, dates are different.
I was thinking we got to go one more season back.
Okay.
Because when you're like a teenager, and I have teenagers still, dating is just for fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's just the chance to go hang out with people that you like, to like spend some time with cute boys or cute girls, and just to do fun activities together.
Yes.
Like that. So I would say that's your first stage.
That's your first stage, yes.
Of dating.
Okay. So, in my mind, I went back to kind of like right before I got married. So tell us about
a different stage.
Tell us about your first date with your husband.
Okay, so he actually did really good. Which, I mean, we got married.
You sound really surprised. I know. He actually.
I know. Well, I'll tell you the gas station date later, and then you'll know why. No, he did really good for our first date. We did greasy burgers, which I was a college girl, so having a really meaty meal was great. I was super excited about that.
I always love a cheeseburger date. I'm totally on board with that.
I know, right? That was just something yummy. And then we went back to his family had a small ranch. We went back there, and he saddled up the horses, and we went horseback riding in the hills at sunset, which
love that.
Very romantic. I was like, but also not like overly. Do you know when a guy gets too romantic on the first date, you're like, wow, he is really trying too hard, but also like he's way more into me than I am into him at this stage, kind of a deal. So he walked that line really well with the horseback riding. And then we went back to the barn, and there was this old radio playing, and he asked me to swing dance in the barn.
Fun.
And so we did.
Great first date.
We did a couple swing dancing, and then a slow song came on, and we slow danced. And then he took me home, and he did not kiss me goodnight. It was a nice hug on the porch, which was really actually super sweet and respectful, and I liked it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was a really good first date.
Oh,
like,
good.
he did a good job. I know. So
yeah, apparently it worked out.
I know, right?
Okay, so I have to ask you about swing dancing. So that going dancing and swing dancing was something that I loved to do with my husband before we got married. And after we got married, he said, I don't have to do that anymore because we're married. But I will say, whenever we go anywhere, like a wedding, a party, and there's dancing, he is always out there with me, like the first one to hop up and take me out there and dance, because he knows that I love it. Yeah. But to like go on an actual swing dance date, his thing.
I'm not sure where you would even go to do that.
I don't
wouldn't
even
be
know.
Full of 20-year-olds.
That's
like,
true.
Really.
That's true. I keep telling him though that ballroom dancing is on my bucket list, and I love watching Dancing with the Stars, you know, like that. Oh, I just want to do that. And if I could go back as a child, I would take ballroom dancing. But he's not completely on board with that yet, but it's not been a hard no either. Right. So I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up on that. But yeah. Okay. So I love that first date. I love.
That was good.
That was good. So for you, it was like walking that line of like,
not
it's romantic,
but
not over the top and like pushing too hard.
Yeah, because I had guys that would do that, and it was just like, slow the roll, guys. Like, we're not, not there yet. But so it was a really good in between, and he did a really great job with that.
Oh, good.
So showed interest, took me on something that I liked to do.
Yeah.
And then, just a little touch of romance there. And
so that makes me think about my first date with my husband. I have to like kind of give a little history before I tell you about the first date. So my husband and I went to high school together but did not know each other. Or I knew who he was, but we did not go in the same circles. And when I was in college, I was working at a gas station, and he would come to the drive up all the time. So This, I think, is kind of a Utah thing. Like, we have at our gas stations, a lot of them, you have a drive-up so you can come get your soda. Yeah. So I was working at a gas station and would help at the drive-up window, and he would come regularly.
This was even back before the days when they had, like, mix-ins and
flavors.
I
know. It was just straight soda.
Straight soda.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would do that, and he would come, and one day I was like, oh, that kid's kind of cute, you know, like... Anyway,
and so, then the Cupids started to come out of the walls.
They did, as my coworker. So every time he came, they would be like, "Hey, Erica, there's that guy in the Chevy truck." So you know, I would go and help him, and so we started talking, and then he started calling me, and we ended up running into each other on campus.
Wait, calling you?
I know.
Like on
so
the
this is
phone?
This is the thing that's critical here is like we talked on the phone for a couple months before we actually went on a date because our schedules were just not like driving. And so we scheduled a date, and it was a little ways out. And right before that date, it was like a Wednesday, and we were supposed to go out on like Friday or Saturday. I don't remember which day it was. My friends wanted to go to a haunted house, and they had all asked guys to go with them. And so he comes.
Well, I'm sorry, you don't go to a haunted house by yourself. That's ridiculous.
So. Anyway, he comes walking up, and I'm like, hey, a group of us are all going to the haunted house. You want to go? And he's like, yeah, that sounds great. And I'm like, okay, this is back before cell phones. Right. I mean, really, I'm a dinosaur. I know. So anyhow, I call him when I get to my friend's apartment and call him and say, hey, I'm on my way to pick you up. And he's like, I'm not going. I have a test to study for.
What?
And I was like, you are kidding me. I was so mad. I was like, so strike.
Last minute.
Yes. Ooh. Yes. And then also the second thing that I was concerned about is everyone kept telling me he's too shy for you. Because like, I don't know if you know me, but I'm kind of not shy. Yeah. I am in some ways, but not, I could talk to most people. Anyway, I think we're so good. Yeah.
Okay.
And so I was worried he was going to be too shy, and then he ditched me at the last minute. I was not happy about that.
He is
and then,
lucky
and I think this is now that I'm telling this story. I think I have shared this story with my newsletter readers. So if you've heard this, it's a repeat. But anyway, so I didn't cancel the date. Maybe if I had a cell phone back then, I would have. Yeah, because it would have taken me calling him and saying, "Hey, I'm not going on this date." But the date was already set. Yeah. I did not cancel. I did not wash my hair, which was a huge thing for me to not, like, even though I would get ready in the morning and shower and wash my hair and get ready in the morning, if I had a date, I would, like,
because it was naturally curly.
Yes,
right?
It was very curly hair.
You have to with naturally curly hair. You have to start all over. There's no refreshing.
So I'd always start over. But I was like, no, I'm not even washing my hair. Like, I was just like, I'm going to get this date done. And anyway. Yeah. But what happened was not what I expected. So he picks me up and he takes me to one of my favorite places to eat. Mm-hmm. And then we go walk through the bookstore while we're waiting for our movie to start. Yeah. Which was a chick flick. Oh. And then after that we went country dancing. Oh. Swing dancing. Yeah. So
did you guys get swing dancing apparently is the key to getting your woman. Let's just throw that out there.
So what happened was that he had paid attention during all of those conversations. Like, I hadn't specifically said, I want to go eat here, I want to do this, but through our conversations,
I love eating at this place, and
he had picked up on what I liked. And we did all of those things. And he did not kiss me at the end. He walked me to the porch, gave me a hug, which I appreciated. Because I thought that shows, like, he's genuinely interested in me. Like, to me, I felt like that.
It's a longer term thing.
Like, it was a good thing for me.
A quick date.
And so the date that I thought was not going to be anything. Yeah. So for me.
And the guy you were ready to write off.
For me, it was the fact that he'd paid attention.
Yeah.
And that meant so much.
That's awesome.
Okay, so talking about date nights, we talked about, like, your first date with your husband, like the teenagers, and then first date with your husband. Okay, what about dating with little kids?
Oh, that is so hard. It's so hard, especially if you don't live near family, because when we moved down here, our family was at least an hour away. And so we went through a dry spell. It was rough. Like, it was hard. And we definitely felt that in our relationship. Yeah. We felt the loss of a date night in our relationship.
And, like, it requires more creativity when you don't have a babysitter and you have all these little kids. But sometimes you're too tired to be creative either. So it's, like, easier to not do it, right? Yes. Like, I feel like dating can be, like, dating, no matter what season of life you're in, is the most critical thing to keep your I don't even want to say romance, your relationship good,
yeah,
you know. And so I remember like just being so tired. I know, all the time with little kids. I'm like, I'm just so tired.
I know.
So
but the effort to like get all the way dressed
get dressed to get do the
like, whole thing.
I got to do my hair, like
I know. And it's like, I'm married to this guy, like he's seen me on my worst flu day. He's held my hair while I puke when I'm pregnant, like I mean, he's seen me at my worst. Like, I'm not at my worst. Can't I go like this? But like to put forth that effort to put your best out was so much work. But also it made me feel good about me when I did it. So
yeah, and
it reminded me that I still had it in me to get it all put together. Okay, I can still pull it all together. We're okay. I can still do this. Yes.
Yeah, to see yourself outside of mom. That was important for me too. But I was really blessed because where we live, my husband has a lot of family around, and he had cousins that were like at the perfect babysitting age. And they were so amazing that my kids would beg us to go on dates. Can you please go on a date? You know, so
we've had the reminders from our kids too. Isn't it a date night time? You guys should be spending a night out.
Yeah, it definitely takes a lot more effort. And my son and his wife are at that phase of life where they have the 2 little boys, and I'm always encouraging them. I'm like, you have to say this is date night. Like, no matter if it's a trip to Walmart together or whatever it is, but I think there's something about saying this is date night that's important.
There is really a lot of power in labeling it, in putting that title on the time that you're spending together, because, and I've heard you say this, because
we have tried everything to get that to not do that. Okay,
I have to. Excuse me a moment. I'm gonna just.
Are we gonna edit this part out or what?
I don't know.
I may be just entertaining you, but
okay. Go.
So you're so right. Like the label.
Yeah, giving it a name. Giving it a name. Names are power. Names are power, and using a name for the night and the time you're spending together. But you had said that it was because you're telling that person, I want to date you.
Right.
That's, I think, where the major power comes from.
I totally agree.
Because you're telling them that there's still somebody you want to spend your time on. You want to spend your effort on. You want to spend your money on. All of those things. It just tells that person you're worthy of all of this. And that's huge.
It is huge.
To make sure that the other person knows that. Yeah.
It is. And one of my favorite memories about when my kids were little, and it wasn't easy to, like, finances were a little bit tighter, and we were going through some things as far as like with my health, and like my mental state for my health I was just not in a good place. And I remember one night, it was a weekday, my husband came home from work, and he got home a little bit early, and I was like, what are you doing home? And he was like, get dressed, we're going out to the movie. And I was like, what? Like, it was a weeknight. You did not go on dates when you had little kids. Like, the older boys were in school and the girls were little, and he was like, I've got a babysitter, we're going out to the movie. And we went to see Twilight.
I love it.
Which I had already seen, but I loved it so much that he took me, and that meant so much to me, because it was that date night of like saying, you matter to me, like what you're going through matters, and I know this is going to make you feel better. And so that date was like that for me. But now where we're at, dating is just keeping our relationship good. So like, how do you feel about this stage that we're in?
You mean
how many years have you been married?
20 schmish.
Yes. Okay. I cannot say that, and I will not even try. She just taught me that new word today. And I was like, wait, what? So,
because I want to claim the 20 years, because that's like a like hashtag relationship goals kind of thing to get to that 20 years, but I don't want to say how many 20 years it's been. I'm
29.
29.
Oh my gosh,
I'm
at the point where I'm starting to forget how many years it's been. Like,
that's really, a thing. It
really is. I think we're going on 29.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an accomplishment, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm claiming that. I'm owning that. I own my age. I'm like, I earned these 51 years.
It's
like
true.
I earned them. But how do you feel about dating at this phase in your life?
So for us now, a lot of it is really getting the house to ourselves. We have grown children that still live here and work full time, and evenings when he comes home from work are not like quiet time together for us yet. I still have 2 in high school, so getting the house to ourselves, we're like, okay, he's gonna like barbecue or smoke something really yummy, and then I'm going to make some side dishes. And it's the preparing the meal together that is part of the date night. And like, and just spending time being domestic together for us is a date night right now. I know that sounds weird, but it's like, because for so much of our marriage, there's a lot of divide and conquer that's happened in order to get this family to the point where we're at now. And to have, we have really successful kids. And so even like high school successful kids take a lot of effort, and you've got to go to games, and you've got to go to like student council stuff, and you've got like, so a lot of it is like us running and just trying to make sure that one of the parents shows up to everything for the kids. We've had a lot of years of that. So coming together for us now and spending time quietly at home, just being domestic together, is such a treat. Yeah. So, but yes, labeling it, this is our date night. Yeah. So the kids don't come home early.
And it's like, and isn't that like a great thing too, that you, after 20-ish, however you say it, years, after that long of being together, like, like that is a date night for both of you. And you know each other well enough to know that we're both going to really enjoy this. Like, time together. My date night might not be what your date night. Right. Like, yeah.
Well, like, we're not there. Your house is like,
and my house is, and I'm a little bit ahead of you because I still have 2 daughters that live at home, but they are very adult. Like, the one has 3 jobs. She's gone from 7 in the morning till 9 or 10 at night. Right. And the other one has a full-time job plus runs her own business too at home. So while they're home, they're not really on, underfoot all the time or anything like little kids. And so I feel like my husband and I do have a lot of time together. And also where I work from home, and sometimes he works from home, but we're both very involved in our careers right now. And so we kind of have this thing at like 9 o'clock at night, we shut down, and it's like, hey, are you done? Yeah, I'm done. Are you done? And we go in and we watch TV together at night. Yeah. We just love that. Like, and so.
Are you allowed to talk during the show?
Oh yeah, if we wanted to. I don't know if we need to, but yeah. Okay, I don't know. That's just our time together where we just unwind. And so for us, we really have to set a date where we go out. Okay. Because we have so much time together at home. Yeah. At least that's just where we're at in our lives. And so to say, hey, we're going to the movie. We both love to go to the movie. So that's, we're kind of the people that are like, there's very few movies that we don't like. Yeah. Like, I mean, we don't go watch horror movies, or, we have our genres that we know, but we just like going to the movie. Yeah. We just like the atmosphere. We just like the big screen. So for us, a movie is huge. We love to go out to eat. So, and I know people get tired of it, like, I don't want to go to the movie. I don't want to go eat. Let's go do something else. But for us, it works really well. So for us, it's just saying, this is our date night. And then, sometimes we do end up like just getting some food and staying home. But yeah, going out is important, but it's also not as easy as you would think it is at this phase, right? Yeah. Like, even though we don't need babysitters, even though we could go on a weeknight, like it still takes a lot of effort to date,
and
right?
Planning. Like, it's effort and planning, and saying that this is the time set aside for. I don't know if I'm a huge time blocker. Like, my planner has like 15-minute increments, and I block things out. Everybody's like, how do you get so much done? I'm like, I account for every minute of every day. I'm always doing something productive. And sometimes this is time for this child is blocked out, and I'm just sitting on the couch with that child, and we're watching a movie or talking or something. But it's like, but I'm blocking that time, and that way it allows me to be fully present in that moment, because I'm not thinking about what else needs to be done. Yeah. I love that. That's why I time block the way I do. But it also helps me be really, really productive. So when I time block out time for someone, that's time becomes everything for them and in them. And so it makes me wholly present. So when I time block, but then I have to time block date night, and I have to time block, like, this is when I'm doing the grocery pickup, so we have stuff to cook for our date night. Like, there's planning involved in these things, and it takes that effort. It just takes effort, which is a love language, which we will talk about in another podcast. We have to do a podcast on love languages. But that's my husband's, one of his love languages is acts of service. So, and quality time. I tell him he's high maintenance. We'll talk about that another time. But blocking out that time is important for him. Yeah. But it also is important for me, so that I can be wholly present in that moment. So, because if you go on a date, I know you've been on a date with somebody in the past who is like distracted, and that's not it's not helpful to your relationship if you go out distracted, which is why it's hard with little kids sometimes because you're worried about them.
Right.
And I get that. I totally get it. And you're worried about what's going on with the kids and yada, yada, yada. But just being present on that date night.
Just saying, like, you're important to me. Like, no
like
matter
you're
what.
the most important thing in this moment.
Yeah, I agree. I love that. Yeah. And looking ahead, so my parents are, I want to say 52, going on 52 years of marriage.
50 years of marriage?
Yes, thank you. I don't know why that was hard for me to say. But they're at a different season, and my dad's been retired for a few years, but my mom just retired, like, I think it's a year and a half going on 2 years.
And there's always such an adjustment. I always hear about that adjustment.
And so, because you're kind of trying to prepare yourself for what's coming, right?
Yeah.
And so you're looking ahead at couples and watching my parents. And I think that they're managing it really well because they both have things that they love to do separately. Like my dad has his garage where he is out. He loves to like find old tractors or old equipment things, and he likes to rebuild it. Yeah. And sometimes he'll sell it, sometimes he'll keep it, but he'll be in his garage all day long. Yeah. And my mom has her things that she loves to do in the house, and so they have separate interests. They have they both have a weekday that they go out with friends to lunch, like separately.
That's nice. I like that.
But then they love to go, they have a side-by-side, they love to go on side-by-side rides. They'll pack a picnic, they like go do these things. They love to go to the antique store. They just they have a lot of things that they do together, but they also keep a separate, and I think it's finding that balance, but I love watching them still date. Yeah. And so it's just showing me, and which we use writing these books, like dating is important. Yeah. Like no matter your age. Yep. Like I would love to hear from our readers, like some date ideas or like what you're doing to.
Or what stage you're in. Yeah. Like, and if you're trying to find somebody. Yeah. I did actually see something on another podcast about tips for finding someone.
Really?
Sure. Yeah. So, okay, so it was to fill your socials with things that you would want to do with your future partner or spouse. Okay. So if you want to be the couple that goes hiking on the weekends, put hiking on your thing, because like attracts like. So if they see you doing things they also want to do, they will want to do those things with you. So it's not catfishing. You're not throwing out stuff that you don't want to do. If you're the kind of person that wants to sit home on Friday night and order some pizza and watch a movie with your significant other, post a picture of it. Yeah. And be like, hey, hanging out at home, eating pizza, kind of like, be positive. Like, I'm having a great, like, I love doing this. This is one of the things I love to do. If you're kind of more of a homebody, pictures of you at home, because you're not going to be happy with somebody that is always wanting to get out and go do things if you're a homebody. Yeah. So, fill your socials with the things that you want to do with that person. If you post pictures of you always partying or always out on the scene, whatever, they'll think you're a party girl and not ready to settle down.
Interesting.
So do something, so you just talk about what you want to do, or just post those pictures and things, because you will start attracting into your life people that want to do those things, and they'll want to do them with you. And then you find somebody that you're compatible with. You visualize what you want, and you bring it into your world. Yeah. So
because it's different. Like the dating world is different, and like they're not having phone conversations and getting to know each other over the phone, like just talking. Like it's through Snapchat, it's through images. It's Yep. And so which for me sometimes I find is a little bit challenging to write. Yeah, because I don't know how it works anymore. Like I'm like, okay, you're gonna sound really old fashioned if you're like, they called me up and asked me out. Like,
I know, right? Like, you can't do that anymore. Yeah.
Because my girls would think that was like, oh no, you don't do that. Like the guy has usually asked for permission to give them a call.
Yeah, beforehand.
Yeah.
Because can I call you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you okay with a phone call? Yeah. Wait, what? Okay.
Yeah.
But as an author, do you find that interesting trying to write?
I do. And I also think it's kind of sad because that adds another layer of distance between you and that person. Yeah. And I don't love that, because like when we were, we sound so old. When we were growing up, it was like your phone number was in a phone book that was public unless you asked for it to be removed. So anybody could call you at any time, and it was not considered rude or invasive in any way. Right. But also we didn't carry our phones on our person, which I think is why they've become personal. Yeah. So, and in fact, my kids, oh my gosh, the other day we were laughing because they asked me what a pager was. They saw one on a show. And I'm like, well, then your phone number would come up. And they'd be like, well, how do you know who it was? And I'm like, well, you memorized people's phone number. So if you saw your mom's phone number, you knew your mom's phone number. If you saw your best friends, you knew your best friends. If you saw, like, you just memorized phone numbers.
Can you recall phone numbers from your childhood?
I have, like, my grandmother, both grandmothers, in my head both still. My parents, both their work numbers. I could still rattle them all off. It's ridiculous. I could rattle off my husband's first cell phone number. So it's ridiculous
it's just different, and so that is just something as we write these romance books, sometimes you're like, okay, wait, how would this work?
Which I think is why I love doing things where they meet in person, or forced proximity is so popular because it removes those barriers that are now in place. And you're right face to face with the person, and you're stuck there. Which I think your next book is forced proximity.
Yes, I'm like my first book is in the trope in the Cupid division is forced proximity. So while I wasn't creating date nights per se. I mean, they were just happening because they were stuck. And so that was really fun. But yeah, it's been really fun to like think about dating as we planned this podcast. And I talked to one of my good friends, and she told me she's in the season of life where we are. Her youngest is a senior in high school, and going to be moving out. And so she's looking ahead. But she was telling me that her and her husband are doing the ABC dating.
ABC dating is...
So she started, so she had the letter A. So she planned the date, and they went to the art museum and ate Asian food.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah. And so B date was his, which I haven't talked to her since the B date. This was like a New Year's
I'm like, all of a sudden I'm firing. I'm like, baseball, basketball. Like,
so I'm curious.
Now that we have a hockey team, when you get to H's, hockey game, I'm excited. Yeah.
So anyway, I'm curious to find out what he planned for B, and anyway, so you just go down the alphabet. But how fun! I think it would be so great to record like the alphabet and then write what you
take a picture. Take a picture and
what you ended up doing for that date. So.
Okay, if you decide to ABC date, please send us a picture of your A date. Like, I think you can post pictures here on the comments. Please, I would love to see the start of the ABC, like all these A dates out. That would be
or so just dating
aquarium. I mean, there are so many things. And Z for the zoo. And oh my gosh, like I went A to Z like super fast. I already did the whole dating.
You already did all the dating. Yeah. You can't tell that you're right?
I know. It's not like I have any romance.
But if you have dating ideas, we're always looking for them.
Or themes, dating themes. Like I love the ABC stories. Like
so fun.
Yeah. I mean, 12 Days of Christmas is a great one, but like 14 Days of Valentine's would be super cute to do a date night. 14 Days of Valentine's. Yeah. Things like that. That would be lovely. I love it.
So we have so much coming up, so many fun things to talk about.
This season
talking about love and Cupid,
so awesome.
And it's
just going to
be lots of fun stuff. So I'm really excited. And so make sure that you are following us on social media, on Angel Institute Books. And we have our website, we have our newsletters. There's lots of ways to reach out to us, so make sure you are following us and share anything you want to. We love to hear from our readers, and
our pre-orders will go up really soon for the Cupid series. We'll let you know when those are up and ready, so you can pre-order those, because that's going to be a lot of fun. Oh my gosh.